Hey, how are we doing today, everybody? We got a great guest, Shawn French from the Determined Society in the house today. How you doing, Shawn?
I'm good, man. What you been up to?
Man, you know, PPTC
Dude, you're
Fitness.
growing, bro. I remember your first gym. It was like
I know.
alley, right? It was a straight alley, and you had that cool machine there, the little thing that stretches you, and you had your equipment. But dude, walking in here, you get so much more room. This is almost like a CrossFit box, bro.
Yeah, funny story on this thing. This is actually a new one.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
the other one was more like a silver.
Yeah, it was silver. So initially, when the lady sold me the place, it was basically like an assets deal and a client deal.
Mm-hmm.
But the only stipulation was that she wanted that. And I was like, all right. And we kind of negotiated to take whatever the price would have been off of that, and it worked out.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
great, man. Looks like you're doing good.
But yeah, man, I'm doing great. So me and Shawn met through my brother, actually. My brother played, I think it was it Team Swiffle or Team Reebok?
It was Swift. No, it was Reebok.
It was Reebok, right?
He played for both, but
He played for both,
Our
yes.
connection came from Team Reebok.
Starting on Reebok, yeah.
Circa 2012.
Yes.
Or 11. One of the two.
One of the two.
In that area right there.
Probably 11 going into 12.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something like that. So, and you've been kind of, based off baseball, and you've been in this whole area for a really long time, just doing the whole baseball scene,
Yeah.
man, and being involved with people. But I have personally, from the time I've met you now to, to this present time, it's just been a completely different guy. So we're going to take people through your journey, through what you've been through, and kind of you'll take me through your journey too, because I only met you through this time where you're already out of college, you're already doing the thing, you're doing what quote unquote you're supposed to be doing, which as we know now is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Adulting, right?
Yeah,
it's
man.
a verb.
We figure it the frig out.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
100%.
So take me back through, man. Where did you growing up?
So I
Where'd
grew
you
up
raise
in
born?
the San Francisco Bay,
Oh,
East
wow.
Bay, right? So Concord, California, born and raised there. I was actually born in Walnut Creek.
Cali boy.
Yeah, Cali, man.
Wow.
West Coast boy. It was Tupac, no biggie.
That's where that smile comes from. That's what it is.
Exactly. So, well, I grew up there, right? Like I said, East Bay, and grew up playing baseball. Just a normal kid, man, playing outside, doing the fun thing. As soon as I get home, dropping my backpack, peace out, mom, I'm going to play football in the street. That was cool though. It was like that was like the street light era, right?
Yeah,
Streetlights come
you
on,
got
your
when
ass
it's
better be home, right?
you better be home and eating.
But there was no issue. Your parents weren't hovering over you. They wanted you out playing, right? Then you got to come in and do your homework and then play your Tecmo Ball on the
Right.
But,
Exactly.
Yeah, so grew up there, played baseball.
Did you have any brothers and sisters growing
I
up?
have a sister named Angela. She's 10 and a half years younger than me. So,
No way.
Yeah, man. So
Wow.
I was 10 and a half.
So you're a little
obviously,
stud
she
for a while.
Yeah, I
By
was
yourself,
the only guy. I was
doing
the
the
only guy
thing.
around for a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when did you start? Was like when you were young, did you first get right into youth sports? Like, was it everything, or was it just baseball? Or
Dude,
what did you do?
that's a great question. So my uncle Brian, he was still is a god to me. I always look up to my Uncle Brian. He played at Ignatia Valley High School. I used to always go watch him play. My grandma, my mom, my grandpa would take me to his games. Then they'd take me to his summer league games, his semi-pro games, and all that cool stuff. And then my cousins, Frank and Scott, also played. So my cousin Frank played at St. Mary's, which is a small D1 out in California. And then my cousin Scott and my Uncle Brian played at Sacramento State. And then out of Sacramento State, my uncle signed a free agent deal to play for the Montreal Expos for spring training.
Wow.
Hurt, shut it down. But, growing up, I got pictures of me in the uniform. I was just dying to be them. I had great role models, man. My uncle and my cousins and their friends that used to razz me and pick on me when I was a kid, really got me to fall in love with baseball.
Sure, man.
And I remember going up to Sacramento State and watching my uncle play a 3-game series on the weekend.
Yeah.
It was super cool, man. So
Sure, man.
that was just something that was in my bloodline, right? It was expected. Dude, you're a baseball player.
You got this.
So I started playing when I was 7. My first team was the Lions. Then it was the Wolves and the Mets and the Cardinals. I can go through it. I still remember it like
That's so crazy.
Concord American Little League, man. It was awesome. So, I played baseball all the way through, 12 years old. Then went to Pony League, more of a travel competitive type deal. 80-foot bases instead of 60-foot. It's the 90, but it was more competitive than the senior league and Little League, right? After that, Got into high school. Of course, I tried football my freshman year. Soft, bro. I was way too soft to play football. I didn't like getting hit. But high school baseball, junior college, earned a small athletic scholarship after JUCO to go to LSU. Got to play with some really good ball players that made it to the big leagues, and that wasn't my path. But dude, like, got to be a part of a team that went to the College World Series, and
absolutely, man. What's better than that? Come on, man.
Nothing. I just wish that back in the day we appreciated the LSU football games more than we actually did, because we'd go for a quarter or two, then we'd shoot home, shower up, get ready to go out.
Yeah, of course.
Now it's like,
I wish I would have
just tickets for like
that'd been amazing.
$900.
Yeah, I'm going for free.
I want to go now.
Beast.
Now you gotta pay like $1,000 for tickets.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man. So that's kind of the long and short of it. Then after Louisiana came to Sarasota County in 2003, wasn't feeling it. Right, there was nothing there, and I went back to California for a little bit and got involved in the mortgage thing, and then the meltdown happened, and I ended up here, and it's been literally the greatest experience of my life coming back to Florida. And all the adversity and the trials and tribulations that we're going to get to.
Yeah, a lot of things to get to.
I think I am a different person than when you met me, or when.
Absolutely.
I mean, dude, it's
worlds different. I can say that
crazy.
for sure, and not even just like, because you've always been an upbeat guy. You've always been the guy that's trying to give motivation, but there's a difference between. There's a couple guys that say there's a difference between quoting the scripture and having to live it. So you were able to tell people and motivate them, but you could tell like maybe something was a little off, or like
man.
You weren't always like put your head in the game,
Dude, I mean, I mean, look, bro. I mean, the reality is, back when I was training with you, I was going through a lot of personal issues. I don't want to get into them, right?
Sure.
But you know them. You already know them personally, right?
Sure.
It's private, but I was going through a lot. And, the stress eating, the drinking, the Copenhagen long cut. It's just like all those different things, man, kind of feed in. Yeah, there's no calories in Copenhagen, but it breeds another unhealthy habit, and then another unhealthy habit. And then I'm chasing those bad habits and trying to supplement it with working out. And it's like, well, I'm not understanding why I'm not losing any weight. Why am I all of a sudden this fat mess? Well, it's just because, like, the outward appearance is what I felt about myself on the inside.
Right.
I was so unhappy.
Yep.
I had one child at the time. I have three now. Bobby was super young. It's crazy, right?
Amazing.
You got one now.
I have one.
For now.
I got one just
pretty
now.
Soon,
for now.
Pretty soon they're going to outnumber you.
Hey.
You. They're going to come out with you with like little squirt guns.
Well, let's hope they outnumber me, but the gender is even. I'm trying to get a boy on the next one, all right? So don't say they outnumber me too much, all right?
Dude, I got the boy, then I got two
girls.
I'm like, wow, that's a lot of.
I'm kind of happy I got the girl first. I'm not gonna lie, so I can kind of navigate and
to soften you up a little bit,
and just to, I feel like I guess I won't know until I have one, but I feel like a boy, not that he's easier to deal with, but I can. We are gonna understand each other a little more because we're both men at some point, especially when he gets older. Yeah. But as a female, you're like
think that. Yeah,
you gotta really learn her.
Kids are. I mean, their personalities are so different. You'll love each one of your kids as much as the other one,
but
differently.
Sure.
It's strange.
That's amazing.
Because you'll be able to get certain things out of each child that you can't get out of the other one.
Right.
Like, one might make you feel safer in home. Like, you might go to that child like, dude, I just need to decompress. Like, I need
hang out with you.
I need child A right beside me.
Yeah.
And then when you need a laugh, you're going to go to the other one. So it's
awesome,
it's really amazing. But so Bobby was young, and I was super unhappy.
Yeah.
Right. I was working for Paychecks then, which was a great career. Made great money there. Cut my teeth as a sales professional there. I know everything because of Paychecks.
Right.
I mean, it was.
It was a means to an end. It got you here.
It was a grind, right? It was a grind, but I needed it. And so anyway, a lot of unhealthy habits. Like, I mean, we should have. I can give you the pictures. Like, I was going through some pictures the other day, and I actually saw what I looked like when I was training with you.
No way.
I'm like, dude. What? I think I was about as big as that garage door.
You're a big dude.
I'm a big dude.
You're a big dude.
When you're in it, you don't feel it. You don't know.
No,
right?
and
like, you just know your clothes don't fit good, and,
yeah, man.
and you're kind of not feeling yourself, right? You're not comfortable in your skin. So,
100%.
Eventually, as I got out of a certain situation, you know, I went through a divorce. Okay, that's just it. I was going through a divorce. You know, it was very turbulent. But I met my wife.
Right, met your person.
Jacqueline, yeah, and dude, she's everything. She's the glue that holds me and the family together, and she's the one person that reminded me who I was.
Right.
Reminded me who Shawn French was and what I had inside of me, and I'll never be able to repay her for that.
That's
so
awesome.
everything I do in my life, everything I want to give and be is for her and my kids.
That's awesome.
You know, that is, you know, Ben Newman always talks about the burn, right? The why is great, but you got to have a burn, right? So the burn's deeper than your why.
You got to have a desire.
And so the burn for me is,
you wouldn't have a why if you didn't have a desire to do something in the
right.
first place.
It's just
right.
like, this woman's given me so much. She's reached down and picked me up out of a gutter.
Yeah.
Like, I owe her everything.
Yep.
I'm being emotional about it right now. It gives me goosebumps because I was broken, man.
You knew where you were.
I was broken.
Yep.
I mean, looking back at it, mess. Like mess. And, you know, like there's friendships in California that ended back in the day because I was selfish. You know, I didn't ever see it that way until I met my wife.
Yeah.
Because she reconnected me with who I was.
Right.
Again, I've already said that, but it's just, but dude, like she literally, when you talk about nursing somebody back to health, when you see that dog that's abandoned and emaciated, like, and then you fix that dog.
And you just see
that's
the
what my wife did to me. But,
you literally see the transformation pictures when they go to that happy home.
Yeah.
And then the people are like,
that's so
you know, it's like, oh, the dog's back.
And then
there.
a bad
Oh.
moment.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing too. Like, it's been a journey, man. There's been ups and there's been plateaus.
Yep.
There's been, I'm skinny, I'm fat again, I'm getting back in shape. But I think what happens along the way is you learn to understand yourself and what your triggers are. And not only that, it's like, okay, what permanent change do I need to make?
Right.
Because the biggest thing is there's so many programs out there, or challenges, right? There's 30-day challenges, there's 24-day challenges, there's this and that. Challenges work for a short period of time. I remember talking about Whole30 back in the day. You're like, that's great, bro, but then what next?
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
what happens
and
after you're done?
I still didn't get it. I was like, whatever, dude. Okay, well, look at me. You know, I'm in better shape than I ever have been, and I was.
Right.
But you warned me about it. And you know, now I look back, I'm like, dude, that's son of a gun, man. He was right. It's funny, but you know, so for me is making habits every single day that I can stick to. Dude, I'm still
So
no
good.
Mr. Universe. That's
Sure.
not what I'm after. I'm after being healthy. I'm trying to be as lean as I possibly can. Now, you know, I've followed Andy ever since, you know, 2000. Andy Frisella.
Yeah.
Ever since, you know, 2000.
Great speaker.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Entrepreneur.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
Just understands.
He's good.
He understands the accountability piece, the self-awareness. It's huge. Right?
I was just about to say that self-awareness. When you were going through this whole thing, that was the one thing that hit me. When you were talking about the change and you got to make a big change, that big change only comes when you look inside and go, oh, what is, like, when you have that argument, when you have that downfall, you're like, you know, you always want to throw, oh no, that happened because of that and that. Well, I mean, you had part of it too, right? It takes two. So
Dude, it's
you got to
all.
look and see what are you doing? How are you reacting to the situation? Are you rising to the occasion? Are you finding a way around it, a way through it? How are you reacting to it? And is it positive? And they always talk about how your thought, your life goes in the direction of your most important and most consistent thoughts, right? So are those thoughts leading you to where you want to go?
Well, that's a good point. And that's something that not enough people understand.
Right.
So they hear "as a man thinketh," or what we think about, we bring about, and people say, "Oh, that's a bunch of garbage." It's really not.
It's not. Not at all.
It's not garbage because you know whatever seed you're planting in your mind is what's going to grow.
100%.
You can grow weeds or you can grow grass, dude. I mean, it's plain and simple.
Gotta
so
plant the seeds.
Every single day, right? When I wake up, I think about all these amazing things I'm going to create.
That's
right?
awesome.
Before I had my first speaking event for the Determined Society was Gardner, a team for Gardner. I mean, that's a pretty big company.
It's awesome.
Right? I got to speak one of their sales teams.
Heck yeah.
2 days before that, I was thinking, I really need some opportunities to speak. So I started thinking about it. How am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? The how is not ever going to get me anywhere. It's the intention. right? To be intentional every single day on the stuff that I put out there and how I act around people, even in my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That got me my first speaking engagement. Someone in my neighborhood was on a group chat. My friend Alyssa was on a group chat with Bruna, another one of my friends now, right? And she says, I'm looking for a high-level salesperson to talk to my team.
Right.
And just because of the example that I set in my community, within my little HOA, they're like, you got to call Shawn. And everybody on the group chat's like, yeah, call Shawn. Text Shawn.
That's
go,
awesome,
go.
man.
And so within 2 days of me thinking, how am I going to do this? Boom, it happened.
Boom.
And then I spoke for Alyssa's small business, for her sales team last week, right? And I got some other local things coming up soon. So that's starting to grow, right? But that's thought. Now, again, I'm not just sitting there thinking about it. I'm being intentional every single day and putting myself, I'm inching the football down the field. Right?
Yeah, you have to make, you have to
take
action.
action.
You have to take action. 100%.
You know, so, but the self-awareness.
Just like
back
doing
then,
push-ups, you got to do the push-ups.
right,
You can't just think about them.
Right, you got to do it, right? But, to your point, back then, where now the self-awareness is there.
Exactly.
Before, it was just like, no, I'm going to say it was poor me.
Yep.
Like, it just, I was beaten down and I allowed it to happen. And eventually I picked myself back up. But it was a slow journey. It was when my first daughter was coming, Alina. And I'm like, I gotta get in better shape because my wife is way hotter than me. Or my girlfriend at the time, she's way hotter than me. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, this girl's gorgeous. She looks like, dude.
I'm a fat slob. She's great.
Slob. Look at that person. Like, what is she thinking? What is wrong with her? She's nice. She likes my personality.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's what it's gotta be.
So like, I was like, dude, I gotta get in better shape because of that. And then,
oh man.
But that was just insecurity. That was just stupid. That's
thoughts that come with it, right?
Yeah,
100%.
But it's like, okay, dude, you're not good enough. Like, whoa, wait a second, dude, this is not you. And so eventually, the thoughts in my mind that were speaking louder were the empowering thoughts.
Yes.
Like, hey, dude, you feel this way because this is how you're thinking. You have control over this. If you don't control it, what example are you setting for Bobby and Alina, your 2 kids?
Yeah.
Now I have 3. So everything I do, right? Every time I work out, anytime I put something in my mouth to eat, my kids are watching.
Yes.
So as you know,
dude, people don't realize that your kids watch every single thing you do. Dude. Even if you think you're not around them and they're not looking, they're looking. They're looking.
They're stalking you.
It's insane.
They're little.
They're like, what is he? Okay. Yeah. Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
It's like
put that in my back pocket.
Yeah. Or it's like if you just took a drink from that and you put it down and you walked away, your son's coming over there like, what's Dad drinking over here?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like when you see them, like there was one day, I forgot what I was doing. I was eating. And my daughter had already ate. She was sitting next to me on the couch. Yeah. And I did one of these and I had my hand on her, right? Just like on her chest, like I was playing with her. And she was like just sitting back. And she was playing with something, and I thought she was playing with it, and it seemed like she was playing with it, and I was eating my food, and then all of a sudden I look over, and she's like this. She's like,
yeah.
Like practicing, this before she learned how to eat really well, like really solid foods. This is like at the very beginning stages where she just started eating foods that we eat. And she was like, oh, wow, is that how you chew? And she's just practicing the chewing. I'm like, wow.
It's nuts, isn't it?
It's insane. Like hanging on like one chew, like I'm like mouth wide open, just like absorbing this crazy information that we just take for granted.
For her. It's like, oh wow,
that's how you do it.
That's how you just learn.
Wow,
Thanks, Dad.
yeah, isn't that amazing?
That's crazy. You want to hear a funny story? So about a week and a half ago, my son went with me to Platinum Fitness Gulf Coast Town Center. Right, he goes with me to watch.
Okay.
Right? I'm like, hey, sit on this bench. Watch. You can't go on the floor. Whatever.
Sure.
And we're getting after it in there. It was burpee day. So
everybody loves burpee day.
Oh my god. So I look over him at one point. No, I went over there to grab a drink of water in between rotations, and I go over there and I just say, hey, you good? You look bored, man. I'm fine. I'm like, all right. Well, I figured he would enjoy this more. Wow, what a story did I tell myself? It was completely wrong. We get home. Later on that day, he's looking out. He goes, Dad, it's raining. It's pouring outside. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's raining. It's the summer, man. Like, it happens every day.
This is what goes on in Florida, right?
And he goes, huh. Okay, and he looks.
He goes, huh.
And he's looking around, and we're up in the loft, right?
Okay.
We're up in the loft area upstairs, where the kids kind of play around. There's a gate, so they can just run around and act like
That's
crazies, right? So he looks around and goes, huh. He goes and gets this Minnie Mouse ball, those bouncy balls. You know those fun ones, like they're like this big that you get at Walmart. Or
yeah.
whatever. Puts it down. He looks around and he goes, okay. That's all I got. I'm like, dude, what is this kid doing?
That's all I got.
What's going on? So he gets down, starts doing push-ups.
No way.
And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, okay. He gets up, starts doing burpees. He goes, yeah, what are those called? So those are burpees, son. He goes, am I doing them right? I go, make sure your chest touches the floor. Okay. He goes, okay. He gets up, he starts grabbing this ball, and he's standing up and he starts doing over the head
throws. He's doing medicine ball slams.
He's doing med ball slams with a frozen or Minnie Mouse ball.
Still
There's two,
though.
I don't know which one it was.
Still though.
And I just looked at him like, what are you doing? He's like, I watched you work out. I watched everybody you were with work out. It's important.
Ah.
He goes, and you work out twice a day. So I got to work out, and it's raining, so.
It's raining, so I gotta do it now.
Like,
I love it.
So it was really cool because that was the moment where I truly realized, again, you have all these realizations as a parent, as you know.
Yeah,
You're
oh my
reminded
gosh.
constantly.
Just like, boom.
It's epiphany after epiphany
Yeah,
after
no
epiphany.
doubt.
It's like, stop. But this
So
was
funny
the
you
moment.
say that.
This was
So
the moment,
true.
it's just like, that's the example I just set for my kid.
Right.
That's the standard.
And you gotta love that.
That's the standard. So,
Yep.
not the next
The
day, but
value
yesterday,
system.
Yeah.
He's got to get a workout.
He's got to get a workout in. It's 95 degrees yesterday, and I had to go out for my second workout. As you know, I'm doing 75 hard again, Live Hard Pro.
Got to do 2 times
We'll
a
get
week,
to-
45
yeah, I mean,
minutes.
It's I let myself slide, so now I'm back on track, right? So
You're just
I'm on
punishing you're putting yourself back on that discipline, basically.
It's all mental. Everybody talks about 75 hard challenge. It's not a challenge. Whoever needs to hear this, it's not a challenge. It's a program.
Right.
So it's a lifestyle. So
Exactly. It's a lifestyle.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's promoting healthy habits, right?
100%.
So
what it's about.
I needed to do my outside workout, and it was starting to get really nasty outside. And he goes, "I want to go." I'm like, "Dude, I'm going for a 5-mile run, bro." He's like, "It's fine. I'll just jog next to you." I'm like,
I'll just jog next to you.
and my wife is going, "Bobby, it's raining out there. Like it looks like there's gonna be thunder and lightning." He goes, "Well, the thunder's not a problem, but the lightning is." So,
My man,
all right,
smart
cool.
man.
Because I said that to
Thunder's
her.
not a
So I
problem.
said that to her because she goes, "Well, Shawn, it's thundering out there. You shouldn't go around." I'm like, "Well, thunder's not the problem. It's lightning, and that's the problem."
That's true.
So
and then,
just,
of course,
you know,
the copycats.
It's really cool because as I get healthier and as I'm doing more positive things in my life,
He's going to do it, too.
he's seeing it.
Right.
And he saw that, I started the YouTube channel. Dude, you're on YouTube? Dad, you're on YouTube? I'm like, yeah, it's not a big deal. You just upload something. He's like, what's the channel?
What's the
I wanna
job?
know.
That's
so
so
it's just
cool,
pretty
man.
cool, man. So
Yeah.
that is a long tangent, but
Still, though. That's awesome, man. That is what life is about, though, man. Teaching our kids, growing, and then setting that example, setting the values. Because, like, for my daughter, I know me right now, not only do I want to set the standard on how I treat her mom, but I also want to set the standard on how she will be treated in the future and what she will accept.
Yep.
So that knowing that any man who disrespects her, doesn't treat her correctly, he won't even be a thought.
No, she knows that it's not okay.
Right.
There's too many bad examples now.
Exactly.
Right? And that's the thing, like every single day, what example am I setting for my kids?
100%. That's amazing.
And so they'll never beat me downstairs.
I love
I'll
it.
always be awake
Yep.
before them.
Awesome.
When they wake up, they will walk downstairs and see me coming home from the gym or a run, period, in the story.
Right.
Because, again, it's the standard. I want them to be healthy when they get older. I want them to have the great habits that I didn't have until I was 41 years old. If I had these habits, I didn't have this model for me. I got told, hey, you're getting a little bit of belly, you should probably go out there and run. Well, okay, now I want to.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was
Come on.
the thing for me too. Like, back in the mindset back then is the hard work. It was there. It wasn't the hard work that was the problem. It was that the putting in action and actually having a program or a lifestyle thought behind it. Because it's about being consistent and being, happy with the little steps along the way. Like you're saying, those little moments where when you come home and you did beat your kids up, and not only did you beat them up, but you did that run, or you went to the gym already and you came back home and they come down and you're like, I already did all that and I ate. Like, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Time to be dad.
Let me clarify, guys, audience. When he says come home and beat up your kids, he means beat them up. Like, I was awake before them. Not beat them up. I'm always awake before them.
No, he knocks them out to go back to sleep.
Exactly.
Yes, you were awake before them.
Yeah,
exactly.
but no, it's true. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, again, that's setting the example. Like, these kids know, and my 2-year-old knows.
Exactly.
When I put on my shoes, she goes, "Daddy, walk out." Like, it's cool.
That's amazing.
It's cool. Before, 2 years ago, it wouldn't have been that way.
Exactly.
Daddy eating pizza. Daddy's having a pizza.
Daddy's eating
Daddy's
pizza.
a fat ass. Sorry, I didn't ask you if I could curse on this. So probably a family show. But
Ass is okay.
But I mean, dude, that's the reality of it.
Yeah, it's 100%.
It was a decision. I finally got so tired of how I felt.
Yeah.
And constantly questioning myself. Because everybody said, you have so much ability to do X, Y, and Z. I don't feel like it.
Right.
Because I'm filling myself with a bunch of BS. And I was too worried. This is something that I hope my children get from day one. I was too busy caring what other people thought about me. You know when that stopped? When I started doing the Determined Society. That was the scariest moment of my life, putting a video out there.
Why do you think doing the Determined Society stopped that thought process?
Because every single day when you're putting videos out there, you have to desensitize yourself to what other people think, right? If they don't like you, delete, block, unfollow. See you later. Go ahead. You know what I mean? They don't have to tune into my channel. The people are going to watch it. People are going to get something out of it.
Yeah.
And the people that want to be there, right?
Exactly.
And then I started thinking this. I have a social responsibility, right? I've been through some things in my life. And I have a pretty good voice to talk about things.
Absolutely.
Right? So if I'm not being my best self, I am taking from somebody out there in society.
Yeah.
That's not okay with me. For me to sit there and say, I'm going to be so selfish, I'm going to wallow in self-pity and not be the best Shawn French I can be, that's going to hurt a kid.
That's good.
It's going to hurt an adult.
That's good.
Because if I'm not who I need to be, then I can't help somebody. And so for me, that's really what happened. You
can't pour from an empty glass.
No. And so the videos were my kind of way at the beginning was just it was therapy. I was getting it out.
So good.
Right? I was talking about it. I was overcoming my fear of putting my true feelings out there for the world.
Right, because
to scrutinize.
What are people going to think if I got divorced? What are people going to think if I did this?
Well, who does Shawn think he is? I've known this guy for years.
Right.
Dude, I've gotten so many messages. Well, who are you, a motivational speaker now?
Wow.
Cool. Hey, bro. Everybody was nobody before they were somebody. So challenge me on that.
So good. No, it's a fact.
It's true.
Everybody came from something.
Brother, if you followed
everybody has
Priscilla from back in the day, he talks about it on, might have been the old MFCEO project, his other podcast, where he started Real AF. It was, he used to get 1 or 2 likes on his posts on Facebook, and then was like, what, you think you're some motivational speaker now? Ta-da.
Right, look at him now.
Look at him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's funny because that's exactly right. You got to go with what is in your gut and what you're feeling and what's going to make you happy. It doesn't matter. You can't live somebody else's life. And you're not going to make everybody happy. That's just a fact. I've learned that with business. I literally, me and my people, PPTC Fitness is why, is to, everything we do is based off of our passion to give other people their results, but mainly to bring them to all-time happiness in their journey.
Brother, I've known you for a lot of years, and it may have been through your brother playing for us for a summer ball team. But you've also grown, right? When you started, you were fresh out of college, super da-da-da-da-da-da, and what it's always been, though, is passion for you. Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy that you were able to connect that passion with growing your business. Because, watching you from afar, proximity-wise, it just doesn't work as far as distance goes.
Unfortunately.
But, dude, I love watching your videos. I love what you do for your clients. And the thing that I really like is you have everyday people here. You have kids.
100%.
You have people with injuries.
Yep.
You know, you have moms. You have all these great these great people here that are benefiting from your passion. So you know, that's the cool thing to me to see.
100%,
like
man.
that knowing that's part of your mission makes me like kind of smile a little bit. It's like, dude, if you're one of those passionate people I know.
Exactly.
Like, straight up.
That's what it's about, man. It's about giving, because I feel like I have a job. It's almost like one of my favorite quotes of all time is from Coach Carter.
Mm-hmm.
When at the end, the guy talks about how's the exact quote go? I haven't heard it in so long. But he says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens people. And then he says, your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everybody.
Dude, that's a whole other podcast, right?
Yeah, it's a whole other podcast.
I got goosebumps.
Me too, man. It's my favorite.
Because here's the deal. Here's the thing with that. Like, playing small, that's not what we're here to do.
So good.
Dude, when I was a kid, you might have saw the post on Instagram or Facebook. It was me in my Superman pajamas or whatever. I had a cape.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Dude, I literally thought I could fly then. I mean, dude, I was
that day you might have. Did you try?
Here's a funny story. I remember hanging out with these dudes in our apartment complex back in the day, like 87, 88, Paul and Frank. And they told me they could train me to be a ninja. Because that's when, like, being a ninja was cool. And so, like, they said, hey, we'll train you to be a ninja. And I'm jumping off of, like, you know, stairs.
Parkour.
And rolling ankles and stuff. But, I mean, that's the point. Like, when you're a kid, no one can tell you can't be a ninja.
Sure.
No one can tell you can't be Superman, right? That you can't
100%.
fly. So, but we fall enough, right, throughout life, and society tells us, no, you can't do that because you're going to fail. Maybe it's something one of the adults said.
Yep.
No, you can't do that. Maybe it was a coach. So all of a sudden you start thinking, no, I can't, no, I can't, no, I can't. And you don't have the tools at that point to be like, no, that's not about me, that's about them.
Dude.
Right? Those are their limitations.
So good.
And so then you own those limitations, and then you meet Shawn French when he's, 38 years old, 37 years old, fat as hell.
Yep. Not consistent with his mindset.
It's all mine, man.
It's all mine.
It's all here. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it's, my outward appearance is what I felt about myself on the inside. That's how it works.
Fact.
You
So
know?
true, man. So true. Wow. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that's why we both have the ability to, because we've both been through low points in our life where I was in the 2013 MLB draft. I didn't get taken.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, what do I do now? I had a chance to play independent league, or I had a chance to start this. And I was like, well, I can either play. I want to play against professionals. So I kind of let this go, and my life brought me this way. And and then I get into it, and then it's like, I'm trying to get to a bigger place, and it took me 3.5 years just to get here. And then boom, COVID hits, and then you got to figure something else out. And it's just a non-stop grind.
Yeah.
People don't realize that anybody who has a business or anybody who's starting something, or even in fitness or just in your life in general, if you're trying to go to the next level, it's gonna take sacrifice. It's gonna take grind. You're gonna hit. You're gonna go, feel great, and then boop.
Well, do you know why you're able to do that? It's a very simple answer.
Because I've been through it.
That's a great answer, but that's not the right answer. You want the right answer?
Go ahead, let me hear
Because
it.
your mission is about people. It's not about you.
True. Yeah.
Your mission was never to come in here and
My
build this big
foundation
gym
is not based off of me.
and be a trillionaire.
That's right.
Your mission has always been to help people.
Yep.
Those are the people that succeed.
And at the very core of it, because we were talking about desire, so my mission is for people outside of here to help people, to bring them to all-time happiness. And then on the flip side, for my own desire, my mission is still about people, just like yours is, because my girls are the ones I want to make most proud when I leave the house in the morning to do this.
You got to look at it when you go home.
Right. I want them to feel great about what I'm doing.
You got to go home and look at them, dude.
Yeah.
Was I everything I could be for you today?
Exactly. Did I go out and do it?
And pretty soon there's going to be 2 more eyes, and then 2 more eyes.
Exactly.
That's just the reality.
And then
You
more
gotta-
motivation.
You got to look at them. You got to look at them all.
Yeah. And what did you do today to really, because we want to create, for our family, we want to create generational, I want to say wealth. Generational wealth in the essence that we can get our kids to understand and unlock their mind and get them to understand that they can do, like you were saying, anything they want. If they want to work for dad, if they want to work in our line of business, if they want to do their own thing, they can do whatever they want and have no holds barred. They just got to go get it.
I agree with that, man. I think the biggest thing is mindset. Like, I know the biggest thing is mindset, and that's something that I've improved upon. Like, my future self does not give two what's about how I feel in this current moment.
I love it.
So, like, my job is to go meet Shawn French in 10 years. I want to meet the guy that I'm supposed to be, not the guy I settled for.
Yes.
There's no glory in that, right? So
there should always be someone you're chasing.
And it's got to be yourself. Because if you're chasing somebody else,
that's right.
You're looking at like this when you're racing.
It's got to be yourself.
Like this. There's a reason why horses have blinders on.
Yeah.
I'm just
right.
saying,
They're on their own journey.
Yeah,
you're right. They're not racing nobody else.
No, they're going.
How fast can I go?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm at right now in my life.
It's awesome.
I got a lot of things going on. So my goal is just to, head towards that dude.
So for anybody, let's get I love that life journey, what brought you to where you're at right now. I want to dig a little bit more into, because we talked about, before we get on the podcast, we talked about how you didn't really want to write down what the Determined Society is about, because you wanted to more put it into words, because like you said, it's from here.
Yeah.
So why did you start the Determined Society? What's your why? Like, why was it created? What made you start it? When did you even get the idea? Was it just like, oh, hey, one day I'm just going to do it? Or was it like, you know what? I want to make a career for myself, and I'm done with this, I'm done with that. I want to do what I want to do now.
Okay. Very good question. It's a long answer. So,
hey, we're here.
All right, cool. So, my friend Natalie, at one point, I was building a business that I'm not really involved in right now.
Okay.
And she's like, "What's your brand? You need a Facebook page so you can, build customers and drive people to you." I'm like, "That's a great idea. What's your brand?" I don't know. This was after I did 75 Hard, Phase 1, Phase 2, whatever, right? And
so it's not too far long ago.
No, it wasn't too far long ago at all. I started this Facebook group page, I think it was, February?
Okay, cool.
And so I'm like, I don't know what my brand is. So she's like, all right, well, post a selfie in a story and say, what is the first word that comes to your mind when you see me? Dude, I'm going to tell you, some of my friends.
Oh, savage.
Savage. I hope my inbox is never public.
Oh, man.
Because, they had some funny things to say. And at first I was like, dude, that hurts. Like, I'm like, oh, shut up, Shawn. They're just messing with you.
Savage.
But the majority of people came back and said determined.
Ooh.
I was like, that's cool. And I'm guessing because I was sharing my completion of 75 Hard and like all the things that I was doing in my life.
I like that.
And they've seen me, grow as a person. Because that's, you show your life on social media and people see what you used to post and they watch you morph into somebody different, right?
Right, just like you've been seeing the growth of PPTC and what I'm doing.
1,000,000%.
Same thing.
Like, it's crazy. Your videos and
I appreciate that.
Super sick.
Thank you.
I love your diet tips, your nutrition tips.
Oh, dude, it's got to keep it simple. I'm always about keeping it simple because it's about living life, not about counting every little thing and breaking it down. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I try to get people away from that.
But so I tell my friend that. I go, everybody seems to think I'm determined. She goes, okay, well, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well,
I want to build a society. I want to build community.
I was like, I don't know. And she goes, well, what do you want? I mean, what do you want out of life? I was like, well, I just want to live in a society, just like you said.
Like
I told you this before, that people are determined.
Yeah.
They're determined to go get what they said that they were going to do because they don't want to break their word to themselves, first and foremost. Second of all, they don't want to let their families down. But they wake up every single day, regardless of how you feel, and they go move forward for their goals, their dreams, their end all, right? And she goes, Determined Society. There it is. That's your group page. I'm like, no, I don't like it. And she goes, what do you mean you don't like it? You just said you want to live in a determined society. I was like, something's missing. The word the.
Yeah.
Like, now that's
it wouldn't
that's
sound
exclusive.
right without determined society.
Yeah, determined society. I'm like, all right, cool, the. So I start doing, these drip videos. Something's coming. Posts like big news coming. All these things that I'm so uncomfortable about. So who's gonna care what I have to say?
Right.
Right. And drop the group. Like I make it go live.
No shit.
Within like, and it was like a series of 4 videos. I built it up for like a week. Within the time that I posted another thing like, okay, it's live. Like here's the link. 30 people joined it within 10 minutes. I was like, my phone was like a boom, 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 boom. I'm like, whoa, okay. Within 3 days, it was like 100 people. And then I got to 200. Then it slowed down. I'm like, oh no. Then we got to 300, right? And then once we got to like 3:30, my buddy Corey Jones he shared it with a bunch of people. Dude, he had 100 people join within 24 hours. I was like, gee, Christmas. So now we're close to 600 people in that group.
Phenomenal.
In a short period of time. And
phenomenal.
You know what? My goal was from February to February to be at 1,000 people. I think I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna hit that before January. And then I started Instagram late, so I'm at like 360 something on there.
That'll pick up quick.
But the thing is, with the Determined Society, it started as one thing, and then one day I'm driving down the road, and my brain exploded. Just like, like when you have so many thoughts, you get overstimulated and you have to pull. I don't know if it's
No. I've actually, what I do is I always carry around something, and I have to write it down. Yeah. If I don't write it down, one, I get pissed if I forget it. Yeah. And two, it's just like I can't. It's like so many things, and I'm like, okay, I gotta.
I pulled over and I voiced memo
Smart.
And it was, oh my God, I'm gonna do a podcast. It's gonna be the Determined Society. I'm gonna do a website. I love speaking, right? I'm really good at sales.
You can speak.
Right.
Because of the sales.
Right. So I want to talk to sales teams and help them.
Perfect. Because you know sales and you can speak.
I was like, well, I got to do a logo. Oh my God. Then I could do a clothing line just to build my brand.
Yep.
And so, the shirts, I have shirts. I give them out. You know what I mean? Like, here
dude,
you go, this shirt. I'll get you one when you come on the podcast.
Yeah, let's go.
I got you one.
Let's go.
So that's how it started. It was just like, it started as one thing, then all of a sudden it turned into a different animal that I could not slow down. Like, it was, you feel this, Shawn, you have to move forward. And I talked to my wife about it. I said to her, I'm like, please tell me if I'm being crazy. She goes, you're playing too small.
Oh!
Like, whoa, what do you mean I'm playing too small? It's like, we do a podcast. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. She goes, yeah, you're talking about speaking to local teams, like local sales teams. She's like, I see you traveling the world and do it.
Why not?
I'm like, okay.
Why not?
So right now is just me getting out my message, building my brand,
building yourself, building your content,
man,
just building.
I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah,
dude.
man, enjoying
the website. Oh, by the way, the website went live today.
Yes, the website is up today, people.
My boy Jared Tangier of Elevated Audience did it up. It's
awesome.
www.thedeterminedsociety.com.
Yes,
it is sweet. If you go there,
follow.
Just go there, subscribe to the newsletter, all that kind of stuff, and then my social links are there too. You can join the Facebook group page there, and then also the Instagram. So,
am I in that? I think I am.
I
should be. If not,
you're definitely in the Instagram group. Are you on the Facebook?
I don't know, but I need to be.
See if it works. Go to the website, just click it.
I'll do it when we hop off for sure.
But so it's dude. And then the YouTube thing. I'm on YouTube, the determinedsociety.com, or not .com because it's YouTube. But
Determined same thing. All the social media, so pretty simple.
Yeah, it's all the same. Like the Instagram's at the Determined Society, the Facebook group is the Determined Society, the website's just the website, thedeterminedsociety.com, and then but the YouTube's going to be different.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, and I want to get this out because I know some people have asked me this. Like, we have Instagram and Facebook that are kind of alike. Like they're dead
They're the
on.
same. They're
it's
pretty
the
similar.
same content. Well, because some people aren't on Facebook and vice versa. Like some are on Instagram, some are on Facebook and not on Instagram. So I want to provide that same content. But the YouTube is going to be more of a, more like content.
I like it.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? Like literally, like I'm going to break things down there. And I might cover some issues that I won't on, the social media accounts.
Yeah.
Right. But then the podcast too. I mean, we're doing.
That's
it all.
Awesome, man. That's exciting stuff.
You move 1,000 miles an hour too.
I have to.
You're like a damn semi truck when you start getting on down the road. I'm not gonna stop you, bro. So, that's how it started.
Right.
I don't know if I was clear, but it was.
No, you were clear. You're clear.
Okay.
No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, it's a big story, but that's how it starts. You come up with this thing, and what's crazy is that once again, you got into it, you've seen how many people were going to count on you, and then for a split second, you almost cash it in. But since the person you becoming now, you said, you know what? What if?
Mm-hmm.
What if it does work though? Because there's a lot of people, like I was talking about that quote, from Coach Carter and all that. I think that's one thing that I try to do well for people is to get them out of that mindset because I know that rabbit hole and I know how to get rid of those thoughts because I need everybody right now listening to this podcast needs to understand everybody has those kind of thoughts. Like even now we have those thoughts.
Every day. It's
just that what are you going to do with them? Are you going to allow them to are you going to allow yourself to go, wow, that's true. That could happen. Oh my gosh. Like it's almost like, oh, I got PPTC Fitness. I built it this much. What if everybody leaves tomorrow and doesn't want to do it no more? Yeah. It's like, and then at the same time, you got to capture that thought and be like, wow, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm going to get out of here with that.
That doesn't serve me,
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who will take that and they'll let it hold them down because they're like, wow, that could be, oh my God, what if? It's like, no. What if 100 more people come in? Mm-hmm. What if 600 more people join your group?
Mm-hmm.
What if you're able to speak at 5 more events and you book them over the next month?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What happens then?
That's crazy.
Right. And it's very, very possible. And it can happen like that.
As long as you move every single day.
As long as you keep moving.
Do not stop.
That's right.
Some days it might be a long distance run. And other days it might be just a small sprint interval.
Yeah, I was going to say sometimes it might be a 10-minute workout. Sometimes it's a full body, hour-long kick your ass workout.
But I mean, it's like, dude, like your job is to move forward. Here's the thing that's at the root of people when they hold on to those things. It's because they were told at one point in their lives that they couldn't. And now they were told so many times that they're parroting. Freaking believe it right now.
They're parroting.
You can't.
That's right.
It's like, what do you mean I can't? Like, dude, that's your choice.
100%.
And the thing that really bothers me is, man, this is going to be the topic of my next solo cast, or maybe we could talk about it when you're on. Is I'm sick and tired of seeing things on social media that, let's say, a person is out there trying to do something special in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's 75 hard. Maybe it's write a book. Maybe it's start their own business. And they post these stories or these actual timeline posts. I just don't have it in me anymore. I'm gonna quit. It's too heavy right now. I have XYZ going on. Dude, I'm sorry. That's fine. Everybody has XYZ going on. Everybody's
always something going on.
But that's not what bothers me. I'm empathetic. My wife says sometimes I lack empathy, but because I'm so focused. But here's the thing.
You're not empathetic. You're driven to help those people. Right. That's what it is.
I see it, and I'm like, okay.
You notice it.
I can help that person.
Yep.
But then I see something else go on below. Girl, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you made it that far anyway with everything.
Wow.
Okay, first of all, that's not your friend.
Get that friend out of here.
That's not your friend. That is somebody. That is somebody like the crabs in a bucket. Like, hey, come back down in here with me.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Let's go. Let's hang out. I don't want you to level up on me because then I don't have anybody to come.
Misery loves company, as the saying goes.
So that's the thing. That's the problem. What's going on in society, amongst other things, right? Sure. But it's the people feel entitled, and they feel it's okay to sit there and say, you know what, Ronnie, it's cool, man. I didn't believe in you anyway. That's really what they're saying.
Yeah, sure.
And then it's like, hey, bro, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know how it is. I'm just so tired. Yeah, man, it's cool. Hey, man, let's go link up for a beer.
Yeah.
Cool, because that's going to get you so much closer to what you want to
work with.
Like,
Exactly.
what the hell?
But that's what happens. It's a feel good. It's a pat on the back. It's almost like my dad. when I was growing up, I don't know what your parents did when you weren't having a game. But
I don't know how to go home.
So exactly, right? So we would be in the car, and I'd be pouting, or so sometimes I wouldn't because I actually played hard and it just didn't go well. But sometimes, you screw around. You're young. You don't really actually pay attention. You just have a terrible game. And it's like, dude, why didn't we even come tonight? You could have just told me,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, kind of like, sulking. He's like, no. Toughen it up because when we come back out here tomorrow, I better not see that, one. And two, what, do you think I'm just going to be some parent that pats you on the back when you really suck and just take you to Dairy Queen? Like, we're not soaking this up. Like, we're going to move through this.
Cherry dip cone
no Dairy Queen. Yeah, come on.
Pouting, you're
not going to give yourself, you don't give yourself treats for pouting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's one of those things, man. Like, that's my mom was different, right? She didn't go there, but dad
That was savage.
Pumped up, right? Double, home run, right? And I remember the home runs, so I didn't hit that many.
I didn't either when I was young. When I was young, I didn't either.
Singles, gap-to-gap guy. That's it, right?
Same.
But I'd be pumped up, right? Did you see that, Dad? Like, he's like, okay, your first at-bat, you struck out. and your third at-bat, you popped up. That sucks.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I hit a double and a home run. Like, what the hell's your problem?
Bro.
But looking back at it now, that's exactly what I needed. I just didn't know how to filter it. I didn't know how to listen to it. But like if you were to come at me like that now, I'd be like, hey man, thanks. Because I think that's what we need more of now is the honesty.
Yeah.
Right? Like
sure.
If I suck, like Ronnie, if I put something out there and
it's not what you're used to.
Hey bro, you good, man, that podcast is whack, bro. Like is your energy okay?
Well, just like
you're better than that, French.
Just like I did with that 30 program you were talking about earlier. I reached out. I said, "This looks great. It's a great start, but this is not the mindset. This is not the.
This isn't it.
This isn't the goal.
No.
The goal is to complete this, and then what? Like I said, and then what? You completed. Cool. Woo. Yeah, we completed something. Yeah,
you're
great.
20 pounds lighter for
30 days. Right.
And you're fat again.
Exactly.
Right. So that's the thing. It's like, we need to be honest with our friends, but more than that, I don't have a problem being honest with our friends.
No.
But the problem is they want you to lie to them.
They can get a little feisty.
Like I said something to a buddy of mine a while back, and it was just like I didn't hear from him for like 3-4 months. It's like, well, I guess he's pissed.
Hey, and then the only thing I could say to people in that situation when it happens to me is I just look at them and go, hey man, I did it because I love you. You're my buddy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't steer you the wrong way. I wouldn't shit you because you're my favorite turd. Whatever saying you want to use. But basically, I want to be 100 with you. It's just like the Gervonta Davis guy who just won. I don't know if you've seen those memes going around, but Floyd Mayweather is his promotional guy.
Oh, yeah.
So he always also helps him train. But he's not his trainer, so he's not in the ring with him.
Okay.
But he walked up in the 10th round, going into the 10th round, and Gervonta Davis was down on the scorecards. So he looked at him, he said, hey, champ, you're down on the unofficial scorecards. And the guy was like, how? He just knocked the other guy down last round. So he had like a 10-8 round. So he's like, how?
Yeah.
Like, I've been beating him up. And he goes, I'm just telling you, unofficial, I'm just telling you, I'm 100 with you. I'm going to tell you what's going on, no matter how much you like it. I told you from day one, I'm going to tell you, you're losing. Step it up. Knocked him out in the 11th round. Honesty. He could have cruised and maybe lost the decision, but instead he said, oh, I might lose. Gas tank. Let's go. Step on the gas. Time to turn it up.
That's the reality. Like, he loses if dude wasn't being 100% with him.
Potentially. Yeah. It's a very 50-50. You flip a coin. Now it's a 100% win because he knocked him out.
Because he dialed his intensity up. He dialed that level of focus.
Exactly,
right?
man.
I did. It's amazing to me.
Yeah.
We got off on a tangent. But I think it's important to talk about. It's an issue.
It is, man.
If you're not telling me what you think and give me honest feedback,
then you're
I don't want it.
Then you're not my friend.
And if you're going to tell me it's okay not to be great, that's the thing. Like, dude, why don't you just come over and hang out? Why are you going to go run? Like, why do you have to second workout? Don't. Dude, you want to trigger me?
You know what else, though? The way I also take it, because it did used to trigger me, but you know how I take it now? Is that reminds me that I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm. Reminds you that you're different.
It reminds me that I'm doing it. My main... I heard it from David Goggins, to be uncommon amongst uncommon people.
That dude is
Crazy.
Love him.
Wants to be uncommon amongst the uncommon people of the world.
That dude's special, man.
It's amazing.
That guy's mind is
it's all about mindset.
It's incredible.
It's all about mindset.
Yeah.
So before we hop off this podcast, I got one. We don't got to go crazy big with it.
Sure.
It's just a straight to the point question. We talked about family a lot. We talked about your journey. Where do you want to leave your legacy? Like, where do you want to leave your mark?
I want my kids to know that anything is possible. I want my kids to look at me, I'm on my deathbed, right? And say,
Good.
My daddy gave us every single thing that he could. He was there for everything, but he also showed me how to be successful. And he did it the right way.
So
my dad didn't take from anybody. He didn't steal from anybody. He was never given shit. But that joker woke up every freaking morning at 4 a.m.
Ready to go.
Got his. I want to. That's my legacy.
It's amazing.
That's one. do I want to leave a bunch of money behind for my kids? Yes. But more importantly, I want them to know what this life is truly about. It's about helping yourself so you can help others.
So good.
Because if, like you said, if your cup's not full, you can't help anybody.
Exactly.
You know, when you're in the airplane, about to take off, they go through my wife always used to say this to me. You're about to take off, and they go through the instructions. They say, put your mask on first, and then help children.
Fact. Can't help somebody else if you're not ready to go.
I mean, I that's what I want to leave.
That's so good, man. That is so good. Wow. I love it, Shawn.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for coming on, man. Anybody who enjoyed this podcast or wants to learn anything more about, or needs any motivation, wants to learn anything more about the Determined Society and just being part of a community, just like PPTC, that is just wants to benefit off of each other in the most positive way possible, just feeding off of positivity, just going back and forth, and that's what it's all about, is to really just feed off of positivity and be in a positive community where people are constantly building each other up. And that's what it's about.
That'd be great. Love to see you guys there.
Oh, trust me.
Shoot me a message.
I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of people there off of this. I just, I know that I'm going to push it, and I know that you're not going to stop going. So there's only a certain amount of time before the people that follow me are going to follow you.
That's great, man. and likewise.
And likewise, 100%.
Can't wait to have you on the podcast.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, man.
Can't wait to hear
I'm excited.
To not hear about your journey, but for you to tell my audience about your journey.
Exactly, man.
So
100%.
awesome.
I can't wait.
Appreciate you having me on, buddy.
Hey, man. Happy 4th to everybody.
Yeah, you too, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Happy
We did
4th.
it.